When it comes to our Halloween displays, I always recommend doing a proof of concept test. That's why we picked the hottest day of the year, of course, to pretend it's fall here at Camp Crystal Lake. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Mike from Happy Haunting, here for everything about Halloween. And today we are going to be setting up my campground display. I like to do something a little bit different every year, so this is a new concept for me. One of the main reasons I decided to do a Camp Crystal Lake scene this year is to help incorporate this van. So it's hard to find a place to park this that's not going to be in our Halloween display. And if you can't beat it, join it. We're going to make it part of the scene, as part of a campground, part of Camp Crystal Lake. And that is why we need a Jason Voorhees. I don't have a Jason Voorhees. I looked on Facebook Marketplace and I almost bought a Jason Voorhees, but he sold quickly and all the rest of them are super expensive. So I found an alternative. Here we have it. It is a cardboard cutout of Jason Voorhees. Now, ideally, in a perfect world, I'd have the animatronic out here in the display close to the people walking past. But since it is obviously not a real person, we're going to try and make it look a little bit more real by hiding it inside the van with a little bit of trick of the light and see how it works. But again, that's why we do these things early to make sure that we're not going to run into any problems. So I did get this cardboard cutout from Amazon. I think it was about $30, which instead of $300 or so for the animatronic isn't that bad of a deal. So offhand, he is very tall. He is sort of falling out of the cardboard surround. So let's go ahead and pull him out. Let's just toss this stuff aside and see. So, I mean, he obviously came folded up. He's got some creases, but I think once we open up the back here and pull these little flaps down to secure the cardboard in place, we have a sturdier Jason Voorhees. So here we go. He does stand up on his own. He's a little bit dark in the body, which I was concerned about, but as long as you can see the face, I think that's all that really matters. He certainly looks good out here next to my handmade Camp Crystal Lake sign, which by the way does glow in the dark. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. But I really wanted to see what he's gonna look like in the van. So let's see. This is exactly why we do these tests. So I've got him standing up inside. From my perspective, he looks great. But obviously if you're standing farther back like you are at the camera level, he gets cut off at the top. So we're gonna have to find some way to make this work. The easiest solution, of course, is where it's folded at the bottom. Just fold that bottom back in and make him a little bit shorter. Then we might have to put something in front of it so it's not so obvious that he doesn't have legs. But let's see how that looks. I have gone ahead and folded his legs in. I actually kind of like the way this looks because now his machete is like slashing into this body that I have in front of him. That's disguising the fact that he doesn't have feet. And the body's kind of spilling out, giving it this very dramatic look. I had wanted to incorporate a body in here. I'm not sure we can actually leave it here because one of the main problems is I wanted to be able to close this bug screen and have him actually a little farther back. I guess we could put the body inside the van, but you're going to lose a lot of that effect. So got a lot to consider. So an alternative is to leave him outside under the awning so he doesn't get drenched, but then we've got to worry about the wind. He could blow over. I mean, he is only just a flimsy piece of cardboard. We could, in fact, create our own Jason if we can't find an animatronic. It's not that hard considering it's mainly just the mask and some clothes and a machete. I'm also a bit concerned about the definition of his body, especially if he's going to be a little bit closer to the scene. It's not very vibrant. When it gets a little bit darker and we have this added strobe light effect, maybe it's not so bad that you don't see his body so well. And that strobe light does amp up the creepy factor. I just don't think we're quite there yet. The figure looks better in the strobe light. You can still tell he's cardboard. So you're not fooling anybody, but it's a reasonable facsimile, I think. Also, we're gonna dirty up my sign a little bit with some blood, make it a little bit more gory, get rid of the skeleton. So we are gonna do some changes to the scene. You're gonna have to wait till Halloween to see what that looks like, but we may do a second proof of concept video if you guys give me some good suggestions to incorporate. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are. I would really appreciate it. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to our Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Till next time, take care and happy haunting.